Morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the PPPC National Convention and to the session entitled Be Visible, Tips to Increase Your Visibility and Your Sales at a Low Cost. This is a reminder that this session is being recorded and will be available after the convention through the PPPC Live Learning Center. Recorded sessions provide an excellent recap and make great training for colleagues who could not attend the session. I would now like to introduce to you your speaker this morning, Céline Pilote from Brand Alliance. Céline Pilote is a well-known figure in our industry. She's chair of the board of Copilote, a Brand Alliance company, which she founded in 1993. She holds a Bachelor of Business Administration degree from University of Laval. She was twice winner of the Entrepreneur of the Year Award presented by Businesswomen Network of Quebec in 2003 and 2010, and the inductee for the PPPC Hall of Fame for 2009. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming Céline Pilote.
Merci, Chantal. Good morning, everybody. Today, this is my first session. I will have another one Thursday. This one is in English. As you know, English is my second language, so if I'm looking for a word, please feel free to help me to find it. And if you have any questions, don't wait at the end of the presentation. You can ask your questions as long as I go through my presentation. So I hope that the internet won't be a problem because I have something to show you. So if there's a problem with internet, I'll try to have my plan B because I always have a plan B. So good morning. This is about visibility today. So if somebody can tell me what is visibility? So, seeing out? Standing out, but visibility is more like in meteorology. I always go to meteorology because I'm a pilot myself, and co-pilot is all about aviation. You'll see in the example. So today I give you my tricks, things that I did for the last 30 years because I've been in this business for 30 years. And everything is about meteorology because I like piloting. So in meteorology, visibility is a measure of the distance you can see something with your eyes. So if you are visible, your client will see you, will think of you, even if you're not there. So are you visible or not? This is the good question. And why you want to increase your visibility? There's a lot of answers. The first one is because you want everybody to see you, speak about you, think of you. When you go somewhere, people know you, they present you to other people because they have seen you somewhere. You want to enlarge your network because everybody here has a network, but you want to enlarge it. Why? Because it's like a garden. When you put seeds in a garden and you take out fruits or vegetables, if you don't plant another seed, you will have nothing to eat at the end because you won't plant seeds like every month or every week. So networking is exactly the same thing. Sometimes you are very busy, you work a lot, you make proposals to clients, and you don't plant seeds because you're too busy to do it. But if you don't do it when the fruits will get out and you eat all them, so you won't have nothing else to eat because you didn't plant seeds. So you have to enlarge your network because otherwise you will get out of work. Enlarge your network, but diversify also because, sometimes an industry is going well, another one is not going well. So if you focus only in one industry, for example, retail stores, and the retail stores don't go well the year after, so you will be again out of work because your industry is going down. So you need to diversify. Even if it's not easy for you, you need to think about new industries. Then if you're visible, when people will need promotional items, they will think about you because you are close to them, they will see you, so they will think about you and they will contact you. So today I will give you great opportunities to increase your visibility. Why? Simple, to increase your sales. Who here doesn't want to increase your sales? Nobody. So you need to be visible to increase your sales. First, I will give you an example of projects we made with the students at the university, college, or high school. The example here I will give you is made with an advertising class at the university. First, you have to find out a college or a university that has such a program included in their program, like it could be advertising or marketing. First, you give the briefing to the students at the beginning of the course. For example, what we did is that we wanted to increase our recognition programs. So we met all the students at the beginning of the session and tell them that we wanted to increase our recognition programs. So they submitted us with a list of marketing or human resources directors. And there were 12 teams. They worked on the project for the whole session. And at the end of the session, they presented us the project they wanted to do with our clients. So the one we chose because we're in the co-pilot is in aviation team. So there was a pilot that was first going to the company, meeting with the director of human resources director, and he was bringing him like an airplane ticket. And then he said, I will come back next week. So the week after, he was going back bringing the boarding pass in a very nice luggage. And inside the luggage, there was a record, like a CD recording, very professional. It was a pilot explaining about the recognition program. So it was very nice, and we could meet with all the human resources directors because they were so impressed with the way the people were approaching him. And there was also another team. We didn't choose them because it was not in line with our image, but it was a groom and a bride. So when the client was a man, it was the groom. Is it the lady or the groom is the man? Okay, the groom was going to see the lady, and he was bringing like a box, like if he was proposing to her, and inside there was information about our recognition programs. And it was the opposite. If it was a girl, it was the bride. The bride who was bringing the box with inside the information about our recognition program. So it's cool because at the end, the students talk about you because the school talks about you, and you choose the winning team. And then you could give them like a grant, and you take pictures. You are in the school newspaper. You put their photo on your website. You also send the information to the journalists because don't forget everything you do, you can always send information to the journalists because they talk about you in your community. And why not? You put photos on the website and then submit. It's later, but I always submit for PPPC award. I will talk about PPPC award because it's important, it's easy to do. And people think that it's like a big mountain to submit for a PPPC award, but you know what? It takes about half an hour to fill out the form. And as soon as you make a project like what we do every year, my girls didn't want me to talk about that because they say if you talk to other distributors, they will submit more and will win less. But it's not true because what I want is that people submit a lot. They sell a lot of promotional items. It's good for our industry. And if it's good for the industry, it's good for you. So submitting for PPPC award, every time you make a project with a client, you see, this one is good, put it aside, start to fill out the form, start to ask your client a letter, and keep a sample because at the end, when it will be a year ago, you say, where's my sample? So you have to make another one, pay for one sample is very expensive. So Every time you do something, just keep a sample and write your document, and at the end, it will be easy. You just send your things, and it's done. I'll give you another example of a project we made with students. But before that, I want to talk about the red paperclip story. You know about the red paperclip story? No? Yes, you do? Okay, because we made a project with a school, exactly this same project, but instead of calling it the red paperclip story, we called it the Brand Alliance pen story. So it's exactly the same, but I'll show you what is the story. The story, it's Kyle McDonald, it's a 26-year-old Montrealer. He was in front of his computer one day with a red paperclip on the desk, playing with it, saying, what can I do with this clip? So he said, maybe I could trade it for a house, trade it for something else. So he put an advertising on Craigslist, asking people if he could trade his clip for something else to, at the end, get a house. People said he's crazy, but he did it. It took him 1 year. And how many trades do you think he made with this first paperclip to get a house at the end? Give me a number. 2,000? 13. 13 trades. I'll go fast, I'll show you. 13. First, he traded in his paperclip for a fish pen. You know what? It's always about needs. Like the person who gave out the fish pen, they were vegetarians, so they didn't care about having a fish in their hand to write, so they traded it for against the paperclip because they wanted to have the paperclip to hold papers. And then he traded the fish pen for a doorknob because he needed a doorknob to put on his cupboard. And it was very ugly, you see it? Very ugly, but the person who had it found it so ugly, they preferred to have the fish pen instead. So he put that on his cupboard. And then he traded it for a Coleman stove. Big step. The person who took the doorknob, he needed that to put on his espresso machine because he found that it looked just like him when he didn't have his cup of coffee, like edgy. So it's good, a Coleman stove. And then he traded it for a red generator. Well, for us, for the girls, we say, oh, it's the same, but maybe for the men, it's a big step. We don't know. Then he traded that for a Budweiser sign and a barrel full of beer. Instant party. Oh, it's good. Then he traded that, if you, maybe somebody from Montreal know Michel Barrette. Kyle traded his instant party for a snowmobile. But there was another reason why the guy made that, because exactly visibility. Because Michel Barrette is a well-known comedian, so he has a show on the radio, he has a show on TV. So Kyle took advantage of that to have good visibility on TV and on radio. Everything is about visibility today, so he took advantage of that. So he traded that for a snowmobile. Then he traded the snowmobile for a cube van, another step. And then traded the cube van for a recording contract. We are at the 8th trade-in now. And then the 9th trade-in traded the van for a 1-year free rent in Phoenix, a duplex. But the duplex, he didn't want to live there because he wanted to have a house for himself. So the 10th trade, he traded that with a private afternoon with Alice Cooper. But what happened is that the girl that was living on the other part of the duplex was working for Alice Cooper. Alice Cooper was her boss at the restaurant. So she asked her boss if he could trade with Kyle, an afternoon with him, so she could get the 1-year free rent. So he said yes. So she took advantage of that, and she had her 1 year free. And Kyle got the afternoon with Alice Cooper and also visibility because Alice Cooper talked about that in his show. You see the big clip there? So then he traded that for a Kiss Snow Globe. Everybody said he's crazy because he's downgrading an afternoon with Alice Cooper and then a snow globe. But what Kyle said is that everybody needs something. So he said, what's more important for a man dying in desert? Is it $1 million or a glass of water? So I'll find somebody who is thirsty. So he found somebody who was thirsty because he just wanted to feel the need. So he found a guy. The guy said, I want this Kiss Snow Globe because it was the biggest snow globe collector in the world. And he didn't have yet this Kiss Snow Globe, so he said, I want it. So he got it. It was a 12 trade-in. There's one more to come. So the small snow globe for a house, yeah, it happened. You know why? The 13 trade-in was a house in Kipling, Saskatchewan. You know where's Kipling, Saskatchewan? No. What happened is that the city of Kipling, they wanted to be on the map, so they said, we need visibility, so we'll give a house. So they gave the house to Kyle. So now everybody talked about this story. They are everywhere. Everybody knows where is Kipling, Saskatchewan, and Kyle got his house. So this was the 13th trade. So lessons to be learned, it's easy. The product has no value in itself. Everything is about the need. If you need something, you're going to pay for it. There's no value. The price is based on the need and not on the cost. So that's what we did with the students. We did exactly the same project. But everything is about visibility, so we call this project the Brand Alliance Pen instead of the red paperclip. So what we did, we found a teacher at the university who made a project with his students. So each student received our Brand Alliance Pen, and then they had to trade it. They didn't have 1 year because it was in a session. They had to trade it in a period of 1 month and bring back at the end of it the item they got for the pen. And what happened is that the teacher at the end, they sold all the items and they gave grants to the best team. And you would be surprised how many things they got. They finally, with 250 pens, like costing 25 cents, 50 cents, they brought back $1,800. And they had iPod Touch, they had rollerblades, jewelry, electronics, paintings. It's very surprisingly how with a small pen you could get a big item at the end. It's always a question of need, as I told you at the beginning. And it was funny because the teacher told me that there was one chain, like a gold chain with a small medallion, and it was not sold because they sold all the items and some things didn't get any buyer, so they wanted to sell them somewhere else to bring back the money. So he went to a pawn shop and he sold the chain with the medallion. He thought maybe he could have $25. And the guy said, if I give you 200, is it okay? So he sold it, brought back the money. They sold everything and they got $1,800. So it's nice. And they talked about it. It was a Brand Alliance Pen project, and it's good for us. It's good for visibility. And start with, we gave out 250 pens, and I'm sure that you could go see a supplier. We could give them to you free. You put their logo on one side and your logo on the other side. There's 2 suppliers here. Maybe you could go and see them. Another project that you can do to increase your visibility, it's golf tournaments. How many times your clients call you and say, we want gifts for golf tournaments, can you help us? Every time people call us and ask us for help or for gifts, we say yes because we know that it's good for us, it's good for our visibility. I'll give you 2 examples here that we did. The first one was a lacing up of shoes contest. what we did is we were at one hole and people were coming, the foursome was coming, and there was a contest of unlacing shoes, and the item that we gave was coming from Souvenir Avanti. It was like a marker that you put on your laces. You see, you have to unlace all your shoes, put the item, lace them again, and the first one that finished in the foursome, he was participating in a draw. Thank you. A draw, and at the end, at the evening, we gave out shoes, golf shoes. So the good thing is that people were participating, but also they were wearing the item the whole summer, because you think that at the end they wanted to take that out? No. So they kept it, and it was a talk about item, because people were saying, what is that? It's a marker, and I got it at the contest, and they were telling about the story. So it's good. They talked about it the whole day and the whole summer too. And it's a good way to collect business cards, because we were there, we were talking with people, talking about our industry, about what we do. And at the end of the day, we presented the prize on the stage also. So it's a very good visibility for what, like 250 items like this. And also you can go see a supplier and ask them for sponsoring. Another thing we could do at a golf tournament that we did is a competition of assembly and flying of a plane. So we gave to the person a plane, like a small plane, wooden plane, so they have to assemble it. You would be surprised that this plane is 1, 2, 3, 4 pieces, and a lot of people couldn't do it. Because after that, it's not only a question of assembling, but it's a question of flying the plane. So the person has to assemble it, flying it, and the one that was going the farthest was in a draw. Same thing, at the end of the day, we had a drawing, giving out prices on the stage, and also collecting business cards. And every time we do things like that, we ask for free tickets to our client, because we say, perfect, we give you some promotional items, but we want to have tickets, so we ask tickets for the day, for the dinner at night, and we invite our boss or one colleague, and we go there together. So it's a good way to have visibility, and it's not very expensive. Another way to have good visibility is having boxes identified to your logo. The picture on the left is a real order that I got myself. I was at the client's place. I just didn't show the logo of the company because it's not the purpose here, but it's real. And the order was coming from China to China. Imagine if the order was coming from China to here, the boxes would be like a lot worse. It's very often that boxes are arriving like this. I'm sure that some of you received boxes like that at your office. It's very common. So what you could do to not see those things is to have your own boxes. That's what we have. It's clean, it's nice, your logo is on it, and it's very professional. How many times you go to an event and you see it's a place you go and you didn't sell the order, but they give out shirts, they give out things, and you just want to look on the box who sold this order, so you go see. So now you won't have to do that, because if you have your logo on it, it's a good advertising for you. Your clients see them, everybody on the place sees them, and it's very clean, very nice. You could also create an event for yourself and invite clients and journalists. There's a lot of opportunities to create events. Like for us, what we did, it was our 10th year of anniversary. So we rented the small Cessnas, airplanes, and doing around the city of Montreal tours for our clients. We had 10 planes, that times 3 clients, so 30 clients got over the city in airplanes. We had a banner. You see there's a banner there saying Copilote has 10 years. So the banner was going over Montreal, North Shore, and the South Shore. And we had the tent at the airport with all our awards, project we did with clients, and giving out gifts to the clients that were there. So they talked about it in the newspaper. We invited journalists to be sure that they will talk about our event. That's what they did. It could be also for Halloween. Once we invited our clients for Halloween. It was before Copilote, because I'm in this business for 30 years. The company I had before, I invited my clients to a Halloween party. So the clients arrived all dressed in different things. It was so nice, and together they didn't recognize each other. So it was in a disco, like good music. It was very, very cool. You could have golf lessons. You could hire a golf pro and teach golf to your clients, like we do with Callaway. They have a center in Montreal, so we invite our clients there. They just gauge their clubs and analyze their swing, and it's very cool. It could be cooking lessons. It could be any occasion. So just think of something, invite your clients, and don't forget to invite journalists. Take pictures, put that on your website. Send information to the clients and be visible. So what you want to do is that people talk about you, so you could have different occasions during the year to increase your visibility. No questions? If you have questions, don't be shy. You have one? No. You could write articles for magazines. If you're not good in writing, you could ask someone that is better than you. And just write articles, because you know that journalists or magazines or newspapers, they always look for articles that are ready to put in their magazine. So you help them, and it helps you. It could be for business, newspaper, like when you come back from Toronto or from Vegas, you could write something about new trends, new product you saw. Give your expert advice and send that broadcast in your area, in your local newspaper. It could be also for your pastimes, like if you like motorcycling, if you like golf, you like skiing, just try to find a magazine that could talk about you, about your pastime, about what you like. Associations, it could be marketing associations, it could be graduates, where you went to school, university, they all have newspapers, so you could write an article, and they will put it in the newspaper or in the magazine, and it's free. This is an article I had in the Pilot magazine. It's nice because it's all about our company name, so it's perfect. Here I want to talk about LinkedIn. Who is on LinkedIn? Who has a profile? And what do you do with it? Do you use it a lot? Yeah. Did you have a session on how to work with LinkedIn? Because there's webinars on the internet about LinkedIn. It's a very, very huge tool, powerful tool. So today I will show you some tips about it, but there's a lot more, and it's more and more popular. It's a business network. It's a tool allowing you to manage your business card on internet. It's a profile, it's a personal branding tool. Some people try to put everything on it, but it's not good because you need to focus on one thing. And you have to have a good picture, very selling, like your text has a bestseller, and you need to focus like on minimum things, not too much, because people don't have time to read. There's more than 161 million subscribers in more than 200 countries. You know that there's 2 new members every second? It's huge. It's like a Facebook, but for business. You have to see it exactly like this. Like people go see Facebook like on their phone. I don't know, I'm not on Facebook, but I assume that they go there like 25 times a day, maybe more, at least. So if you do the same, imagine if you would do the same with LinkedIn, you would sell like 10 times more. So forget about Facebook and concentrate on LinkedIn. In Canada, there's more than 6 million persons. It's a lot. So 68.6% of the members use it to get in touch with old contacts. Because sometimes you had a client, you lost it, you didn't have news about him for the last year. Try to find him, ask him to be part of your network, and just ask him, how are you, what's happening, do you have something new? Just get in touch with old contacts. It's very easy to do. You know what, before, if I remember 15 years ago, we were maybe 5% of our time in the office and 95% outside. And now it's the opposite. People are 95% inside on the back of their computer, and 5%, if we're lucky, they are outside with their clients. So if you are inside and you don't want to go out, because I think that it's a trend, people now don't go to see the clients as we did before. So take LinkedIn and get in touch with old clients. It's like if you would be maybe a little bit in front of them. You're not in front of them, but you contact them in a way. And 50% of LinkedIn members use this network to get in touch with new contacts. It's easy, like in LinkedIn, the members you have in your network are the first degree. So you could use all your first degrees. If you want to get in touch with the second degree, it's easy. So if you want to meet a certain person in a company, you just go see your contacts to see if somebody knows this person and he could introduce you. It's easy. So first, if you don't have a profile, you need to have one. Simple. So I'll go on internet and I'll go through my profile and I'll show you some tips that you could use easily. If internet is working. I hope so. Oh yeah. It's in French. Everything is in French because my profile is in French, but you'll understand it's very easy. So first you need to make a profile. Nice picture. A title that is punching, not say like a sales rep at XYZ company. Just try to find a title that is maybe nicer or something that's different. And then you see the relations, like I don't have a lot, 495, but it's not like on Facebook. You don't accept everybody, like having 20,000 friends. We don't care. Just the profiles, like the links you have, it's real ones. Like, you know those links. Because if somebody sees that you have 25,000 members linked to your profile, they'll say, it's not serious. How come he's close to 20,000 persons? Impossible. So this is important, not to accept everybody, and also not to accept competitors, because there's a lot of competitors who will try to have you as a link to your network. Don't accept them. This is the only kind of members that you don't want to have in your network, because they will try to grab your friends. And then you see all the activities that people have. Like, if somebody writes an article, you could like it. Like, it's the same thing than on Facebook. You like this article, just put a note, and then it appears on all your members' page. It shows that you like an article. Or you can write an article yourself and post it on your page so people could see it. But if you put an article, put something that is like that puts you like an expert. Not put an article on anything, and don't put articles like every day because people will just take you out because it's too much. Like I receive on my page like there's a guy who is a recruiter and he tries to recruit people on LinkedIn. It's not a good place to do that, but he posts like jobs, and every day we receive like 2 or 3. So people take him out because it's too much. Like I don't know if you know, but on your profile, every time you modify something, you see the button modify. If you modify one letter in your profile, it appears on all your links that you modified something. So don't use that every day because, again, people will say it's too much. But if you have nothing to do and you can just change your picture and it will say that you change your picture so people will go see what's the new one. You could also be recommended. This is a very good thing because you could ask some people to recommend you if they like your work. It could be colleagues, it could be clients. Clients is better because it's more, it's better to be recommended by clients because it's true. So you will appear on their page and they will appear on your page too. So if you have letters of recommendation, it's great. And then it's new on LinkedIn, like expertise and competence. I don't know how to say that in English, but competence, easy. Competence and expertise. So some people could go on your page and just add, like click on the strength you put when you made your profile, like new business development, strategic planning. So people go and say, yeah, she's good in this, she's good in that. And whenever they do that, it appears on their page and it appears on your page too. So the reason why you need to be active is that people sees you often, but sees you for the good reasons. And what's nice with that also is that there's groups here. So you could be part of groups. Like you see here promotional product PPPC as a group. You could be part of it. You could share information. You could ask for information, but not only like groups for your work. It could be groups for your pastimes. It could be golfing. It could be about traveling. You can create groups too. Like I created one for my high school because it was not there. But you could try to find, there's a research engine very, very strong. You could search like golf in French or very, very particular things, and everything is there. And if it's not there, you just create your own group. It's nice, like your university, where you studied, the jobs you had before also, because you could have like a business profile for your company. So you could have a group with all the employees that work in the same company. It's nice. And also every time you go on your page, there's here on the right side, it's written, do you know those person? Because they are like related to people that you already know. And a lot of times there's people there that you already know, but you lost sight of. So it's great to just click on them and you add them in your network. And also what you could do, like for special events, like I did that I was surprised because I did that for the beginning of the year. Because you know that we were supposed to disappear in December, like so Yeah, the day after, I sent a note to all my linked people, and I said, "Oof, we went through it, so we are still there today." So I want to wish you a nice 2013 year and great success. And I sent that to all my contacts. I have 490 something, and I received about 200 answers. Like people saying, "Oh, thank you. Yes, we're happy to be here." So it's funny because you find just an occasion or a small pretext to get in touch with the people you have, because it's all about relation. You know that our work is all about relation. People, they talk about you and they refer you or some other people, because selling is a question of referring. If you're not visible, you're not in different activities, committees, and you're in the back of your computer, it's not easy to network. But if you don't go out, LinkedIn is a good occasion to get in touch with people. And also here on the top, you see, you can make a research. You can enter a name of someone that you lost sight of, and you would be surprised that you could find this person. And if it's not already in your network, you will find people that are in your network that knows this person, so you could go through them to contact them. So LinkedIn, there's also a box like inbox, so you could send messages to people. And you know what? Since about I would say 2 months, I use it more, and almost every day I got messages in my inbox on LinkedIn. Yes.
Do you have a lot of your suppliers linked to one of your customers in LinkedIn?
They are in my network, in the same network. Yeah, they are all there. All there, so they are mixed in the same network. Yeah. So it's about it for LinkedIn. There's a lot of things to say, but first I invite you to create your profile and go through everything very. Take your time and make something nice, good text, very condensed, but selling oriented. And as I told you, you can type on Google like LinkedIn webinar, and you'll find something that you could follow, because they give some tricks, like they give things that we don't think and we don't know, and it's worth it. Do you have any question on that before I go to another subject? No. Okay.
You subscribe to the pro version, but you do the paid version with them?
No.
Oh, just the free one?
Yeah, the free one. The pay version, the difference is that you can see who saw your profile. But you know what? I can see it too, but it's not exactly the same. There's not such a big difference. The difference when you pay is that you can send some things to your members, like to your links. There's no minimum. Like when you don't pay, you can go 50 at a time. If you pay, you can go, I think, to the whole bunch of all the members you have. But I don't go to all the members at one time, because I don't want my links, my persons to have too many things that they receive. So I go to 50 at a time. And also, if you pay, you know who saw your profile, but I can do the same. I'll show you. It says, you see here, who consulted your profile here? It says that 7% consulted my profile. I don't know exactly who, but when you pay, you know exactly who consulted your profile. But for me, like if I go see, it says one person from Direction dans le secteur. It says which, not which company, but which industry. Here too, the second one the same, but the third one I see who consulted my profile. The fourth one also. It's just like a tease. They tease me. They shows me like two, I know who, but the three other ones I don't. Yes?
You want to know how to do it, you have to log out and then search for your name, and then it shows all the people that have searched for your name.
Oh, yeah? Oh, it's good. It's another way. But you know what? We don't really care who saw our profile. So, well, if you want to know, because it's like on a single website. You know, you want to know who saw your profile, so you could send them a note afterward if they didn't contact you. It's the same here. You see, the second one, Pierre Demzi. He saw my profile. If I want to get in touch with him, just tell him, why did you see my profile and not wrote to me? No. So we don't really care. So there's a lot of things you can do without having a paying. I think that there's only 5% of members that has a paying profile. So it's not really worth it, I think. And I had the webinar with LinkedIn, and they said that it's not worth it also to have to pay for the profile. So I don't think it's worth it. Do you have other questions on LinkedIn? Okay. I'll just go down because this was my plan B to have my presentation without internet. So just start again my. Okay. So another way to be visible is to involve in your university association. If you went to university or college, you could involve in your association because every school has an association of students. So first, be part of a committee. Like if you like golf, just be part of the golf committee, and then you will get in touch with other students that were there when you were there, or they will present you to other persons. And then after being part of a committee, you could be member of the board because there's boards of all associations. They have like a chairman of the board and directors. And then go up the scale and you could be chairman of the board. That's what I did because I studied at the university in Quebec City, Université Laval. And then I moved to Montreal and I knew nobody. I arrived in Montreal. I didn't know where was Saint Laurent Street and Sainte Catherine Street. I didn't have any idea of the people there. So I knew that there was 25,000 members of Université Laval that moved in Montreal. So I asked them to be a member of the association. So I went there, and then I was in a golf committee, and then I was a member of the board. And finally, I was president of the board. What was good with that is that I was invited everywhere, VIP invited. I was very visible on our table here, on our table there. It was perfect, costing nothing. And it was a good occasion for me to increase my network because I arrived in Montreal and I knew nobody. So it was just perfect, public relations. This is a good way to increase your visibility also because it doesn't cost nothing. Submit for awards. Recognition. Not only with PPPC, I already talked about that, easy to do, but also for recognition, there's recognition with the Chamber of Commerce. Every Chamber of Commerce has a contest or awards for persons that are good in what they do. You could submit for Entrepreneur of the Year, any title that you have in a company, you could submit for an award at the Chamber of Commerce. Business Women Association, excuse me guys, but women's has, especially in not only in Quebec, but in Canada, there's a lot of awards for women, business women. Men's don't have the same. If you did, we would not be happy. We would say, oh, it's not good because it's men's only, but we have the same for ladies. So, but we know that you're a good person, guys, so you won't say it's not fair. So we have awards for ladies. I know. I know. And also university graduates, they gave awards also for people that achieved in their what they do. So you could submit also at university. But I know that you will say we don't have time to fill out those documents. It's long, but it's not that long first, and all the reward that you will get from that after, it's worth like maybe the hour you will take to fill out the document. It's not that such a big thing. Associations, also marketing associations, they have such a reward like they do for people that exceeds, like excels in what they do. Advertising association, marketing associations. You could also be visible in sponsoring gifts. Not asking suppliers to give gifts free for you, but it's free for the client, and I will show you how you can sponsor gifts freely to the clients. And what is good is that there's no maximum value. You could say to your clients, you want a gift? I could give you a $100 gift for every person in the room, no problem. But you need to find out another sponsor to help you. The advantage is there's no limit, no cost. I'll give you an example at the other page. And also you ask for some tickets for the events. Don't forget, when you sponsor gifts for an event, be there and invite another person from your office. But if you go out with another person from your office, don't stick with this person the whole evening. Just split out, go to one table, put the other person to another table, because if you are together and you talk to each other the whole evening, you won't meet nobody. I know that it's not easy when you're young and you go out and you don't want to be alone and you hold a hand to the other person, but it don't help you. And if it's possible, give out the award or give out a gift like on the stage at the end of the evening. So here's an example. I took any example you will recognize. Probably it's from Busrail, but it could be from any other supplier. It's not that is important. So here in my example, we give out 50 gifts to our client. So the value of the gift, you see it's $48.95. And I don't take in mind that a lot of times we have end column, but I don't go there. We take the good column. So for your client, you say, we give you 50 gifts, value $48.95 each. Your cost, we go through this column, it's $22.53 because it's a self-promo, so you have minus 20% here in the example. So if you ask another sponsor to pay half of the value is $48.95. So the other sponsor pays $24.47. So you also make a profit. You give out an item that is $48.95 and you make a profit and it costs you nothing. So the client has a big value item and you put two logos, the other sponsor and yourself. And it could be three sponsors, like you could have a gift that has a value of $100 and you split the bill in three, but yourself it doesn't cost you nothing and you make a little profit. With the profit you could have a gift wrapping, you could have a ribbon with the logo, you could have anything, but what is good is that in this is that you don't have any maximum value. You could give a gift that is $200 and you always say yes because it never costs you nothing. And it's a very, very nice gift. So do you understand the way to give out a free item like that? It's very, very strong because every time you say yes, if a client asks you to give out a free gift, you say, no problem. What's the value you want? $50 each, no problem. But you need to find out another company that could sponsor with you. And every time a client asks you for a free gift, you'd say, it will be a pleasure for us, but give us a name of another sponsor that you could have so we could split together. And they do that very easily. Silent auction. You know what is a silent auction? When you go to a place, there's a table, there's gifts there and a piece of paper, and you just put your name, you bid on the item, and there's a closing time, and when the time closes, the last name on the page with the amount, they got the item. They have to pay for it, but they have it. So silent auction, we do a lot of that. Very low costly also. Here's what you have to do is, first of all, you give something that is big. Because on the table, when you go out and you look at things, if you give something big like that, very small, people won't see it. What they look at is big things. So you put a big thing, take a lot of space on the table. Even if you take half of it, it's not others people problem, so you will get the whole place for you. And then something with a great perceived value. Don't give something that is like $20 because people bid on that. So you need to have something that is at least, I would say, $100, not less than that. Very well identified. What we do is that we put our business card, our ribbon with the logo, very well wrapped, ready to put on the table. And be sure that you will remove any wrapping from the manufacturer because, like, for example, if you give, I would say a clock, for example, that is already in a box, sometimes you send that to your client and he will put that directly on the table like that. So they won't see your logo. They won't see nothing except the box from the manufacturer. So take it out. Be sure that it's well wrapped by yourself and send it back. Also, assembled. It's simple, but it's true. Like if you send a bicycle, for example, it could arrive there like in a box, not assembled. So the person that will get it, what will you do with that? Nothing. And also on the table, it's not nice to have a bicycle in a box, unassembled. No. Or something that needs batteries and you don't send the batteries. So you have something there that works with a battery, but people try to have it work and it doesn't work. Not good. Or it could be too low the cost because I said that you need to have something like more than $100 value. You could have something that is the end of the line item. Some things that you take from the showroom, because sometimes we have things in the showroom that we don't use, that are very nice but not popular. So you take it out of the showroom, clean it, put batteries, nice wrapping, send it for a silent auction. The advantage to do that, first, visibility, always visibility first, but you could have also receipt for income tax. And you could also, as always, ask for 1 or 2 tickets for the event. So it's good for you for networking. You meet new people. You're there. People talk about your gift, and you say, oh, Brand Alliance gift? It's me. So they say, oh, your gift is nice. So it's a good opportunity to make a business development. You could also make donations to charity organizations, but not only a check, because it doesn't bring you a lot of visibility. It's good, but not for visibility. So you could do, like we do every year, we sell samples to our clients. Like, you know that the showroom is a messy place. So there's a lot of things that we don't want to use anymore. There's items everywhere. So every year we take out what we don't want, and we just put them like in categories, and we send invitations to our clients. So they come and they choose whatever they want, and they make us an offer. They say, We give you $20 for that. Perfect. We put pricing, but at the end, people could give out what they want, and they are generous because they know that it's for a cause. We give that to a charity organization. And what we don't sell, at the end of the evening, we give that out to another charity. Or to the same one, but we give that to another charity. So we have 2 occasions in the same one to give out things to charities. And we can take pictures, and you can send that to journalists, because sometimes you open the newspaper and you see persons with a big check. That's what we do also, and we send that to journalists, and they talk about us. I need to look at the time because I forgot. It's okay. You can also create an event to raise money. Like we did in Montreal, there's a restaurant called Robin Hood. So we invite our clients. They pay for the evening, but the food are prepared by our employees. They serve, they make music, all the staff, there's staff there that are non-paid staff, but our staff works there for the evening too, freely. So at the end of the evening, we collect the money, make a big check again, and take pictures and send that to a journalist and give that to a charity. So it make people talk about us again. Don't forget to always take pictures, send that to journalists, but invite journalists too, so they will talk about you. And here it's a good example of, you know what you give, it's not to receive, but sometimes you give and it comes back in another way. Like here in Montreal, there's La Guignolée des Médias. They collect money for people during Christmas time. And they ask us to sponsor the embroidery on their jackets. They were very, very nice jackets, but the only thing they ask us is to sponsor the embroidery. So we said yes, but we said if we sponsor the embroidery, we want to put our own logo on the sleeve. So no problem. So that's what we did, but we were in the front page of the newspaper with, you see our logo there? So everybody said, oh, thank you, Copilote, for the nice jackets you gave out. They thought that we gave out the jackets because our logo was there, so it's a good surprise. We just gave out the embroidery. But nobody knows. And the multiplying agent is you, your employees, your boss, your colleagues. So if everybody does all those things, imagine the money that will come, the sales that will be increased. If every employee is implicated, everybody should be in an association, not only sales, but administration also, because the person that work in administration, they could be part of a network. It could be their school, it could be the place where they live. They could be in a fundraising campaign. It's not because they're not in sales that they don't have to network for the company. That's why I say sales and administration's employees. Golf tournament, other sports animation. If it's not for golf, it could be a soccer. Like it could be an employee that has his kid who is in a soccer team, so she could go there and be part of a committee, just to network. Not just to network, to help the kids, but keep in mind that networking is important. Student project. As I talked, student project, you could be a speaker in a primary school. We have an employee at our office who was a speaker in a primary school talking about the industry. And she brought our small airplanes and kids were playing with it. But it's when people, like kids, are young that you need to start to talk about our industry. And I have moms here with small kids that could do that. Free sponsoring, as I explained, use it. It's a very, very powerful tool. And it's a big value, and for our clients, it's nice because it's free gifts, and they will always say yes. Silent auctions, gifts for events. There's a lot of occasions to give out gifts, submit for awards. How many here will get some awards? Not tomorrow? Great, congratulations. So maybe the other ones here, next year, just think about that. Every time you do something, put a note on your desk and start to fill out the document. It's bad because Chantal is not here and I'm talking about awards. I'll tell her. Be part of a committee, write articles for magazines or newspaper, or ask people that are good in writing to write something for you, and you'll see the newspaper and magazines will be happy to receive something ready to put in their magazines. Get involved. Be active on LinkedIn. Easy. Start with to make your profile or look at it and change some things. Be everywhere. Why? Always the same answer. If my slide is coming. To increase your sales. Very low cost. So do you have questions, comments, or you want to share tips that some things that you do to be more visible to help other persons here? Just go. It's all about being visible. I'm sure that somebody does something that could help other persons to be more visible. Everybody has their own tips, their own things that they do. Don't be shy. Yes.
We're from the West Coast, and we're very involved in the Chamber of Commerce and the Chamber locally, so we attend all the dinner meetings, all the free networking things that we can go to. I found, and we also sponsor quite a few charity golf tournaments, so we're probably 8 to 9 tournaments, where we actually do a full sponsorship and do like a creative activity and some fun at the holes. We found for that $500 the cost of the golf tournament to have a gift is priceless advertising for the contacts that we lead with. We've been very successful with that. Generally, we usually lead with at least 2 to 3 new clients.
It's good.
So it's really paid off. And in the Chamber of Commerce, we always do a door prize gift at the end of the night, so that we get up on the stage for that recognition and just give out something to somebody that's there that evening. And usually with some opportunity for them to have a reason to call us back.
Mm-hmm. And it's good because when you go up on the stage, they talk about you, and everybody's listening because you draw a prize. So
And there's usually 120 to 150 business owners there, so
it's good.
yeah.
So do you have any question? No. So thank you very much for being here today. I hope that some things will help you to increase your sales. And if you have something to share, just go on LinkedIn and go on be member of PPPC group and share your tricks there. Thank you very much.